Hi, I'm Phil Ollie, and today I want to talk to you about the mountain strategy. You know, strategy is a word many people, teams, businesses get really scared about, like they imagine it's some huge bugbear that has to be perfectly set in stone before any forward motion can take place. Yes, strategy is important, but remember it's a strategy, not a straitjacket, and that's particularly worth bearing in mind in a rapidly changing world. And strategy is not just for teams and businesses. You and I need an outline strategy, whatever our goals, dreams or aspirations. You and I need an outline plan that's based in reality to define how we're going to get where we want to get. So any goal, no matter what the scale, has a strategy. And that's what I want to talk about today, because I believe so many people make some fundamental errors, often unwittingly, when setting their goals and creating their strategy. As I said, many people get overwhelmed by the word in the first place and the implications of the term strategy. Yet I've always believed that it's best to keep a strategy simple. And this is where many people go wrong, and they get too deeply embroiled in the detail too early on. Instead, the strategy must involve a simple outline structure. Let me explain. You see, it begins with the way most people set their goals. And I want to introduce one of my simple strategic diagrams, or stratagrams as I call them. And this is the Mountain Stratagram. The first thing to consider is this. If I said to you, we're going to meet up here next week and we're going to climb a mountain, the first question you would ask is what? Well, you would ask which mountain, because whichever mountain it is will define what your plan of attack is going to be. If we're just going for a stroll in the foothills, it's unlikely you'll need all the training you would need if I said we're going to climb Everest. So which mountain is critical in deciding what your strategy is going to be. So the first question for most businesses, teams or individuals when setting a goal is to be clear, that's a mountain by the way with snow on the peak, is to be clear what the vision is, what the end goal is. The flag on the top, what does that look like? And once you've decided that, then to say, in order to launch ourselves at that summit, we need to define what's in our base camp. What's in our base camp? What level of skill, what level of knowledge, what level of structure do we need to have in place? What training do we need to have in place to launch at the summit? And from there, to be able to say, in that case, what are our first steps from where we are now? You see, most people, when they set their goals, they start off at the beginning of the year and they say, where are we now? What would be a good improvement on last year? Therefore, that's our goal. So they say it's like X plus 10% is the goal for the year based on where they currently are. What I think is the much better approach is this mountain approach, which is to say, what's our ultimate vision of where we want to get to? What's our base camp, our strategic objective of where we need to get to in order to launch at that summit? And therefore, what are our first steps based on where we are now? You know, teams, businesses, individuals in whatever role, with whatever goal, would do well to apply this mountain stratagram. And there's another important aspect to this approach that has an impact on the way the goals are set too. In starting right at the top with the vision, the goal is set as a big, bold vision, not based on where you are now, but a statement of aspiration as to where you want to get to. Too many people limit their goals and their performance because they set those goals through the limiting vision of where they are now. By starting with the vision and working back, such limitations will be removed. So what's your mountain? Which mountain are you climbing, and what's the base camp? And what are the first major steps you need to take? Whatever your mountain is, whatever big goal you're taking on, I wish you every success.